So the other day, I'm 4-0 in my Modern League, and I just need to win one more match. But unfortunately, I ran into a disastrous matchup, a matchup that got even worse than it was before, and that is Boros Prowess. Boros Prowess, people. We knew it needed one more card to go over the top. They had the Soulscar Mage, they had the Swift Spear, they had the Clever Lumimancer. What's that fourth card going to be? And it turns out they only had to wait like, I don't know what, 2 or 3 weeks, and boom. They got from Modern Horizons 2 Dragon's Rage Channeler, which by all means is like a super Delver. This is way better than Delver of Secrets, I don't know, ever was before. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you surveil. So you actually put cards into your graveyard, which is going to be good value for a lot of archetypes. But it's sculpting the top of your deck. So, I mean, as a Delver, like Delver didn't really get to sculpt the top of your deck. This one does. I can't imagine how disastrous this thing is in Legacy, because like when you play Ponders or Brainstorms, you like, you know, you can dump the lands off the top of your deck and dig a little bit deeper. So like a Ponder digs 4 deep, a Brainstorm digs 4 deep. So anyway, and in a deck that's playing with, you know, a bunch of burn spells you never want to flood out, this card will make sure you never flood out. So that is just that ability by itself. We haven't even gone to the Delirium part. So if you have Delirium, as long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, it gets +2/+2, has flying, and attacks each turn, each combat if able. So it's basically a Delver of Secrets for in the red colors, and it's got all the general stuff that we saw people try. And Reckless Charge. I knew that was playable. And also it's good for Dragon's Rage Channeler. Got to get them sorceries in your graveyard. Reckless Charge. Don't underestimate Reckless Charge. 1 red, get +3/+0, and it has flashback. That's it. That's also a Modern Horizons card. Modern Horizons 1 coming back 2 years later. Still finding playables and Metamorphose. Anyway, I got crushed by this thing. It was not even close. It's too fast for me. I mean, I'm still operating with 2 mana, 3 mana spells, and this thing is like just 1 mana or 0 mana spells. Who can compete with that? Look at the 0. Mishra's Bauble, 0 mana. Mutagenic Growth, 0 mana. Metamorphose, effectively 0 mana. And look at this. Who cares what cyber cards you're going to bring, because they are using Prismatic Ending. How many colors are they using? Just 2? Appears just 2. Just the white and red. People laughed at me about this card. They didn't think it was going to replace a lot of removal spells. Look, even the aggro decks are playing Prismatic Ending. This card is insane. It's just insane. It's just going to be like the premier removal spell that removes everything. And also, what I find funny is that people thought Boros Prowess was a joke. Oh, Clever Lumimancer, that's not what Prowess wants to do. Well, and then explain this. Explain this, people. Anyway, new Prowess deck has been complete. Like, they were missing their creature. Now that they've got their Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is incredible. This deck is just from a 5/0. So we're gonna have to wait and see, Dark Runner, if this deck is going to stand the test of time in like big events. But it should, because it was already doing quite well. It was doing quite well even without Dragon's Rage Channeler, now that they have this. And this like facilitates almost like a Stormwing Entity sort of role, because you get to sculpt the top of your library with the Surveils every single time you play spells. Yeah, even Bridge doesn't even work against this. Good luck, Eldrazi-tron. But I think Eldrazi-tron would still have a good matchup here, given that, Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void looks well positioned, to be honest. Chalice on 1 here, Chalice on 0 versus the Footfall and Living End decks. Anyway, something to keep an eye out for. So welcome, everyone, to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. Also, we do Decklist review. So if you got a 75 you'd like some feedback on, hey, submit it to us. And both myself and the community would love to take a look at it, give some feedback. So brew up your cups of coffee and let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for June 9th, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning, everyone. Nobody's late. Good morning, MTG Ectoplasm, Walter, Ryan, RG, 6mm, Lukash, Marip, Ulamogs, Rebecca, Voltenvosh, Mikey, J, James, Frazier, Bruh, Adrian. What are you saying about Boros Prowess? It's big. It's good. It's complete, is what I really want to say. They got the deck that they want, and they get to use Prismatic Ending, which will answer basically anything. You know, like they don't need to play like Abrades anymore. They can just play Prismatic Ending and answer to any particular stupid spell that's in their way, as long as it's CMC 2 or less. Good morning, Steven. Good morning, Leontaz. Can someone explain the secret layer bullshit? I can't make it past the first paragraph of the announcement. I have no idea. So is there something going on with secret layer? Where is it? Can I find it on... This is where I really need links, but no one can post me links. Where can I find it? Can I find it on Reddit? Is it on, like, Wizards' front page? There's articles. They are reprinting Secret Lairs into pack soon. All right, there you go. That's it. So if you thought it was special, it's no longer special. Is this like Secret Lair Universes and Beyond update? I'm assuming this is it. A few months back, we shared some exciting new partnerships. Blah, blah, blah. Moving beyond as we continue to develop. Expect more updates, changes. For players who don't mind waiting for prefer for Universes Beyond. Is this the same one? Hold on. Lord Magicus has it. Oops. Can't find it, Lord Matt. Damn it. See, I can't click this link here. Status. Where is this thing? Post it in the Discord. Post it in the Discord. I can't tell if it's this if it's this article. I don't think it is though. I'm going to give you the goal is not, however, to hold back the mechanical expression. I remember one thing about secret layers is they're saying, okay, we're going to make unique secret layers, but we're going to print like, you know, we're going to reprint the thing. Oh, it is that article? Okay. So what is the big deal? Whatever. We plan to announce the exciting partnership very soon. Uniquely collectible. Our goal with new Universes Beyond card designs that release through secret layers is to create fun and a collectible. Blah, 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 blah. In other words, we want to give you options for finding the game pieces you want to use. Yes, because they basically made reserved list cards through the secret lair. So for players who love and are interested in the magic expression of some of their favorite characters and worlds, Secret Lair will offer uniquely collectible Universes Beyond cards featuring art and treatments that draw you into a world well beyond magic. For players who don't mind waiting or prefer cards and character sets in Magic's multiverse, we have you covered as well. For the next Universes Beyond Secret Lair, we plan to create and print versions of the mechanically unique Secret Lair Universes Beyond cards. So there, you know, Rick was supposed to be all... This is basically a reserve list card at this point. Where's Rick? Here. There's supposed to be only one Rick. They said they're not going to print Rick. So now they're going to print Rick, except it's not going to be Rick. So there's going to be Rick. That's what they mean by mechanically unique. In the Magic versions will be available on the list, findable in set boosters as long as players are still interested in opening them. To start, they'll appear on the list more frequently than other cards to make them easier to find. In the future, we may reprint these cards in other products. We'll have that flexibility. These cards will be considered equivalent game pieces, meaning you could only play 4 copies or one of... These cards will be considered equivalent game... Oh, these cards will be considered equivalent game pieces, meaning you could only play 4 copies or 1 copy of either the Magic version or the Universes Beyond version in your deck. So basically, they are reprinting Rick. but they're saying if let's say the Rick, the mechanically new Rick is Bob, then Bob, you can only have a total of 4 Ricks and Bobs in your deck. Yeah, you can't play 4 Rick and 4 Bob. So that is basically, that's an interesting rules change that they're making here. But I mean, I guess it's in line with the Godzilla cards. It's like this is unofficially a Godzilla card if anyone was around during the Godzilla era. Daniel asks, have you ever played tested Teferi and Blue White Merfolk? Why or why not? What are your thoughts? I played it to bounce and Snaring Bridge. It was great until they play Pithing Needle, name my Teferi, and then I can't bounce and Snaring Bridge anymore. It's a good card, but probably only has a 1-of. Anyway, yeah, they could have been more clear about this whole article. They also added, like, look at this fluff. There's just so much fluff in here just to make it look like it's an article. I can understand the confusion. All right, everyone. So if you're new to the channel, you know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting on YouTube. Torborg, morning Nikachu. Spell Shift is dead, but Enduring Ideal is more alive than ever. Sterling Grove is crushing it. Good luck with Sterling Grove. D-Tie Gaming went first place at my local game store yesterday with Blue White Control. Matchups were Humans, Golgari Rock, Healy Company, and G-Tron. Didn't lose a single game. Congratulations, D-Tie Gaming. Blue White Control is still alive. RG says, funny timing. I'm leaving for my first Modern tournament since November 10th. I think... Oh, you think you could run away? Huh? Where you think you're going? Wait. Don't go anywhere. Don't struggle. Don't struggle. Good morning, Salud. Good morning. Say good morning to everybody, Salud. Everyone say good morning to Salud. Where do you think you're going? Okay, I let you go. You're on some journey here. He's probably gonna... Oh, he's not... Now he's running away. He was on his way to go behind my computer monitors. I know it. Okay, I think 1 or 2 Boros Is It Prowess decks will be there. What should I play? Blue Moon, Amulet, or Tron? Probably Amulet. Amulet's probably the most powerful thing that could probably compete with the Prowess decks to some extent, because you can put up blockers, and then when Primeval Titan comes out, you can probably stabilize the board. I don't know if Blue Moon will definitely not do that at all. I think you'll have a very bad matchup, and Tron might get raced. It might be 50-50-ish. I'm not sure. I think Amulet might give you your best chance. Hot Cold Man, morning. How is your Merfolk deck doing along with the new cards? They're doing great. Svelune is amazing. It's just amazing. If you're a Merfolk player, you need to get Svelune, and the price is going up, not down. Thoughts on Asmur Troll King deck? Still needs to prove itself. It's got a lot of 5-0s. Let's see how it does in a modern challenge. But so far, looks good. So far, looks good. Asmurano was a very underrated card at release and was, what, worth like... people were telling me it was like worth $2, and now it's 30. Drew Smith asks, can you make a budget version of that Prowess list without the Fetchlands? Yeah, just play... Okay, so let's get this list back. Instead of Inspiring Vantage, play the get the Boros. Well, first off, Sacred Foundry is not cheap, but I would play another Sacred Foundry. You could just play like, hold on, how many mountains do we need? How many white sources do we need? We need at least 14 white sources for Clever Lumimancer. So we have 1, 5, 8, 8, 12. I guess you can play like 3 of those. What are the lands you can play? It's as a white source or as a red source, but mostly this is a red deck. What the hell are those stupid lands called? The Pathway lands. Yes, the Pathway. I wouldn't play check lands. I wouldn't play check lands because you need Clever Lumimancer out on turn 1, and the check lands will... Check lands no good. Play another Inspiring Vantage. So go up an extra Inspiring Vantage. I would say go up an extra Sacred Foundry. And play Pathway lands instead of Bloodstained Mire. And then maybe instead of the Wooded Foothills, maybe you have to play a check land, but you know, probably I would probably risk it going with a mountain. That's what I would probably do, in my opinion. Dan W says 4 and 5 color decks are everywhere. I got my butt handed to me by a Rockrick cascade into multicolor spells? Are 4 or 5 color piles just going to dominate? They might. Like, also in this 5-0 pile that I was looking at, there are like 2 multicolor decks here. So one of them is more of a zoo deck, but another one is exactly what you were talking about. Look, we got Territorial Kavu, General Ferorus, Rakurik, Mantis Rider, Shardless Agent, Bloodbraid Elf, Scion of Draco. So we might see the return of Zoo and different varieties of Zoo. So this is like only one flavor of Zoo. And then there was another deck that was even more Zoo. That was more like Domain, I guess. And then there's this one that's just more Zoo. It's got like actual Wild Nicodle, Snapcaster Mage Tarmogoyf, the Kavu again, now the Reliquary, Bloodbraid Elf, Sign of Draco. This is more, I guess this, you could still call this Domain Zoo. It's got Tribal Flames. People are trying this stuff out. And clearly nothing is completely broken. And I would love to show an Affinity deck, but I don't have a link to one. But Affinity is definitely coming back. Affinity, Thought Monitor, and Urza Saga thrown into just a regular Affinity shell has put it back to competitive playability. So for all the Affinity players out there, you got to be happy temporarily. Be scared. That Urza Saga is seeing play in a lot of decks. That is a sign of a card that gets banned. Spencer Ward, do you think Grief would go well in a Lantern-esque Esper Prison deck with Meddling Mage, Jason Mind Sculptor? No. If you're playing something like that, just play Thoughtseize and Inquisition. There's no reason to be fancy with a card like this. Okay, look, Grief... The reason Grief sucks, and Grief is seeing no play right now, as far as I know. Like, people are trying, but they're not making it work. It's a 2-for-1. You are down cards. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want that. If you want to just strip your opponent's cards out of their hand, play Thoughtseize, play Inquisition. So the only time that you can survive the card disadvantage is if you're going to kill your opponent immediately. Basically. Which I think is good for combo decks. But if you're trying to play a control deck, no, stay away from this card. Unmask. Unmask has been a card for forever. Control decks do not play this card. Combo decks play this card. Because who cares if you're down cards if you kill your opponent outright in one turn? People are not looking at this card the right way. And like even... So, like, even when people are trying to play this in a mid-range deck, it can still be a huge liability. So anyway, I don't believe in Grief very much. Or I thought Grief was overrated. I don't mind the card. I mean, 4 mana for a 3/2 creature takes a card out of your opponent's hand, and you know it's really hard to block. That's still pretty good value. That is still pretty good value. But if you're trying to use this as like free Thoughtseize, that is not strong. You'll find that you'll be running out of cards pretty easily. In my opinion. Sanders says, hi there. What do you think about Liquid Metal Torque as a card for Karn in the main? Like example, replace Mind Stone in each run, or not enough to replace Sack Draw the Stone. I don't... Maybe it could, but the thing is, like, nobody cares about liquid metal coating except that it can target the lands, and Torque can't target lands. That's the problem. I don't know if Torque... I mean, maybe Torque will see play for some other reason I don't know. Like, I don't know, locking down some creature or something. There could be some... I could see it being played somewhere. Like, it's a pretty unique card. But the only reason people played liquid metal coating is that you could target lands, then uptick Karn and blow the land up, and Torque can't do that. The Number asks, looks like the Phyrexian creature type change is now live in paper too. Yes. So like anything that was a Phyrexian creature is now literally Phyrexian in the creature type, foreshadowing perhaps something in the future. Mikey J, if people are new to the channel, how are they supposed to know the deal? That's true. You will know. Well, they're going to know the deal immediately. Just got on. How is Boros Prowess complete? They found their last creature. So, one thing I think holding this deck back was that it had 3 clearly good creatures. Clever Lumimancer, Swift Spear, Soulscar Mage. But its last creature was always a flex spot. Some people played Abbot of the Carol Keep, and some people played this and that. There wasn't anything clearly great. But now with Dragon's Rage Channeler, this card is great. This is like the Delver of the deck. It's a Delver of the deck, and also it just effectively scries into the graveyard. That's why we call it Delirium. Or sorry, surveils. It surveils to all the good stuff. Very strong card. Very strong card. Thoughts on the new Hollow One deck? It's great. Everything's great. We just have to wait long enough to see what is going to be on top. But one thing's for sure, the whole metagame is different. Almost the entire metagame. Amulet is still around. Damn it. Why couldn't there be something to crush Amulet? They aren't reprinting Rick, though. Read further down. I know. I said, well, whatever. I know the comment is late. Benayamin Gita, hey Nikachu, just joined the chat because I'm a big Lumimancer simp. Under what circumstances can you even play those Walking Dead cards? In Commander and Legacy. Those are where you can play the Commander cards. Oh, that is cute. The Salute of Sea and Sky. I like that. That is very cute. How about a single copy of Wonder in a Crabvine list? Sounds reasonable. Give all your creatures flying. If they have trouble... I would only add it if they legitimately had trouble like getting in damage. They were always in board stalls and they weren't fast enough. Maybe to give them some long game. Vala says, between Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon, which actually gives you the better cut? Say at $5, Patreon. Not even close. The Patreon gives me the best cut. Next comes YouTube, and the absolute worst is Twitch. Twitch takes half the money. It's pretty bad. YouTube's not bad. And also, what I like when people submit on I actually prefer people like to donate in comments on YouTube because it shows people that they can donate money. And oh yeah, I forgot. Like you can donate on YouTube, and you will your comment will get highlighted and pushed to the top of my feed. It's called a super chat. And then people are realizing, oh, I can pay money and get my comment noticed. And they're like, yes, you can. And then all of a sudden they start rolling. So actually, even though Patreon gives me the best cut, I probably prefer my donations on YouTube. Is Caldra Complete going to ban Stoneforge Mystic again? That thing is busted. Probably not. If anything, they'll just ban Caldra Complete. But I have not really seen that card see any play. You know the equipment that's seeing play. What is the dinky one? It gets +1/+1 for the artifacts and enchantments. I've seen that in multiple decks now. I've not actually seen Cauldron Complete in any decks. Yeah, thanks. Start throwing money at me. So Cauldron Complete, I haven't seen barely any play out of this card. But there's this, the other living weapon is seeing a lot of play. A lot of play. For one reason or another. I guess it's just a good affinity card too. But I don't remember what it's called. Nettle, yes. Nettle Cyst. I mean, I think this was a bit of a sleeper. I did not expect this to be that good. This was not on my radar. And this is seeing play in like a lot of decks. A lot of decks are playing this card. I'm much yeah, they should play test it. Cauldron Complete going to show up in my match for today. Definitely should be tested. Nellicast in Affinity is ridiculous. I guess so. I mean, this thing is like, it's basically another cranial plating, right? Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment you control. It's another cranial plating. Anyway, I've seen this in Stoneforge Mystic decks. I've seen this in Affinity decks. I've seen this in just a very wide variety of decks. Even decks I don't even think should play this card. Thrasta is seeing no play. Nothing. I mean, all my predictions, this was wrong. I was right about Prismatic Ending. I was right about Grief. But this one might be like dead wrong. I mean, maybe no one's playtesting it because there's so many other good options and decks to play, but this is seeing nothing. I have not even heard of someone even trying to play with this card. This card is doing absolutely nothing. It's just a big, stupid dinosaur. Is Elves playing it? Are Elves trying? I think it's an Elves card. Is there an elf deck out of all these decks printed? Oh, hold on. We're going to look for it. We're going to look for it. We're going to look for Thrasta. Show us Thrasta. Oh, no. No. Well, that's sad. I mean, that's just plain sad. All right. Thrasta sees no play. Nothing at all. I Fig with the super chat. See, it works. What do you think will be the new premier control strategy currently on Esper and tinkering with a blade setup? So far, I'm seeing blade control. Esper could still be viable. Wafatapu made top 32 of the last Modern Challenge with Esper control with no Modern Horizons 2 upgrades. So the new premier control strategy will definitely be blue-white plus something else. I mean, blue-white control or blue-white plus, you know, black or something. A lot of good new cards. Prismatic Ending, really good new card. What else did they get? The counter spell, of course, makes their control package complete. So it's definitely going to be blue-white something. So if you're on Asper, I don't think you'd have to go too far away from that. Thrasta should have Mega Prowess, so like +3/+3. That would be Kiln Fiend, right? They should rename Kiln. They should errata Kiln Fiend to give it Mega Prowess. Okay, what about Harmonic Prodigy and Boros Prowess? Card is seeing... Well, the problem is... I'll tell you the problem with this card. It depends on your opponent... Sorry, it depends on you having other creatures in play. So if an ability of a shaman or another wizard you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. But if this is the only creature you have out, not really impressive for a two mana prowess creature. Like, I was scared about this at first, but we already have, like, what is it? Leonin something. The other Leonin thing. Or I'm wrong. Huh? I thought it was called Leonin. Oh, yeah, it is Leonin Lightscribe. It's very close to this card, right? 2 mana for a prowess creature that says whenever you cast or copy an instant spell or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. It's another card that depends on your opponents having creatures in play to make work. So that's the deal. And, you know, Modern has a lot of removal. So if you don't have creatures in play, this card sucks. So the cards ideally just want to be individually powerful by themselves. Voltenvash, what's about Harmonic Prodigy and Boros Prowess? You have only wizards. Oh, more than one person's asking the same. I just answered that question. Doesn't Merfolk smash Amulet? No, actually. We are very slow and clunky, and then when they get Dry to the Elysian Groves and Valakut's online, they wipe our board clean. It's actually a disastrous matchup these days. Brian Gnomes, which do you think is having more impact, Svelun or Tideshaper, and do you see a reason for Rishadan? Svelun, hands down, best card in the deck. No replacement for this card at all. So anyone that's going to ask me in advance for, you know, what's the budget Svelun, it doesn't exist. Because if it did, I would be playing it. Svelun is just a giant creature that draws tons of cards, really goes over the top of people. It is the best way to compete with all these card advantage spells in Modern right now. But it's so good on defense and so good on offense. It's unbeatable. And we can untap it with Manamo, which is cool. So it's better than Tideshaper, but Tideshaper definitely is a huge upgrade to Merfolk as well, because now it's a Spreading Seas that I can attack with, which, if anyone's been following my leagues, has been a really big impact. It's changed everything. There's a lot of games now I'm playing Spreading Seas on turn 2, and I'm attacking with it on turn 3. You know what I mean? Rishadan Dockhand might still have a part to play in the deck, but I'm not interested in the deck right now, in that card right now, because I think Chris Catcher is better positioned against all these Cascade decks. Because when they're tapped out, they Cascade. I can counter it with the Curse Catcher. What do you think about the aspect of Hydra as a card? The Devotion card, it is. Poor. It's not good. Pump spells in general are pretty weak, because in response to your pump spell, your opponent can kill your creature and you're 2 for 1. The only pump spells that have really ever stood the test of time, for the most part, are the ones in Infect, or very particularly the ones that give hexproof. So, like, I mean, let's just go Vines of the Basswood. Oops. Vine? No, it's Vines of... Oh, is it Vines of Vastwood? Vines of Vastwood. So this is a pump spell that sees play in fact, because it's a pump spell, but it can also just protect your creature. It has that dual functionality. And we got MTG Ectoplasm with the super chat. With the current shakeup in Modern, do tribal decks stand a chance to compete? Which ones? Yes, I do believe that Merfolk, Spirits should be relatively well positioned as well, because I think Spirits interacts pretty well with the Cascade spells. You know, they can try to Cascade something. All right, you just like you play Spell Queller on the damn thing, so you've got enough disruption. And there's no Plague Engineer yet. There's no Plague Engineer in the format. So outside, the only decks that might be, and Prowess is down in numbers, but it might be going back up because of Boros Prowess. But I think there's still less Lava Darts. That Boros Prowess deck that I saw didn't have a whole lot of Lava Darts, which is good for good for all Prowess decks. Sorry, good for all tribal decks. Let's look at this Boros deck. I don't think there was any. There was like one Lava Dart, I thought. Oh no, it's playing the full 4 Lava Dart. I'm wrong. That's not good for us. That's bad for us. So let's hope this deck doesn't survive. But there's no Plague Engineer in the format. And at least Izzet Prowess is down in numbers. So I think it's okay. It's okay for... like, Merfolk is doing very well. There's a lot of... like, for example, like if we go back, there's like... There's quite... There's a 5-0 Merfolk result here. There's a 4-0 in the preliminary here. I think this is probably Merfolk. No, this is Spirits. A lot of the decks that preyed and feasted on tribal, like Spirits and Merfolk, they're not so popular right now. So it's not, we don't even need upgrades. It's just the metagame has changed in a way that's favorable for our tribal decks. People can't afford Thrasta? I would doubt it. We'll look it up. Oh, it's worthless. It costs 67 ticks. It's a good spec. 67. It's like less than a tick. It's no Tidebinder Mage. What's Tidebinder Mage worth now? I have so many Tidebinder Mages. $0.10. Not cashing out though. Tidebinder Mage to the moon. Tidebinder Mage to the moon. What is your second opinion on Suspend? I think it's still bad for how people want to play it, but it's actually pretty playable in Merfolk because you can... Okay, so here's some things that changed my opinion on Suspend. It is actually pretty damn good at protecting your creatures. It is very nice that my opponent can spend 1, 2, or 3 mana to kill my creature, and in response, I suspend it, and it will come back in a reasonable amount of time. Now, when using it on my opponent's creatures, my fear is I can't kill my opponent fast enough before the creature comes back. But it turns out Merfolk is pretty aggressive now. Svielun does like a ton of damage and actually can close out games relatively quickly if the opponent can't deal with it. So Suspend is a little bit better on offense in the Merfolk deck. The main reason I'm using it, I am using it in my decks right now. The main reason I'm using it because I don't think I need to beat Ensnaring Bridge. If I do, I'll play Brazen Bar or some sort of bounce spell or something, Raven Form, something to deal with artifacts and creatures at the same time. But at the moment, I just think I need to deal with the creatures and just temporarily. So, hey, it's not amazing. It's not an amazing card. I don't think it's like mind-blowing. It's like not the... I could replace this card with something else, and I don't think it changes much, but I'm willing to play it. I think it's not total trash. I do think it's total trash in the decks that people... Like, I don't believe in this card in Control. Well, Teferi, come on. Just use another card that definitely guarantees killing creatures. If you have Teferi out, play Prismatic Ending. You can still... Path to Exile is probably still better than Suspend. Definitely, Izzet Prowess doesn't want Suspend. They'll play with Vapor Snag. So there's not a lot of decks that would want to use Suspend, but I think Merfolk might be one of them. Merfolk might be one of them. Maybe Spirits might want it too. Maybe Spirits. Have you play tested Suspend and Merfolk? If so, it's okay. It's okay. It's good enough that I'm going to continue to keep playing with it. Thing is with the Dino is we need to draw it. Summoner's Pact is not great for elves, and it is better than Hoof because we don't have a mana problem. Correct. It's just hard to get it out, so Hoof is better. Somehow I don't think that's true, though. I think you might have an easier time getting Thrashed out in an elf deck. But then again, I haven't play tested, so I don't know. Frederick also says, just want to say hi to my friend Edward Bowie, new to MTG player. New MTG player. Chose Merfolk because of you. Thank you very much. Edward, you know you have good taste in Magic decks. Nathaniel, I think it's good in just a straight Wizard or Shaman deck. A double Burning Tree is insane and spewing your hand. Could be. Christian Oy says, just looked at Yawgmoth on MTG stocks. Why did it suddenly double in price when Theros came out? When Theros came out? Good question. Did it double in price? It looks like it's been flat for a long time. Oh, this is Time Spiral Remastered, sorry. Oh no, I'm here. I just need to find the Modern Horizons one. So it was nothing, then went boom. I didn't even know this happened. Does anyone have any idea? Was there like some sort of... There had to have been something. Well, let's look up a Yawgmoth deck. Because the thing is, this deck didn't even become... Like, it's a deck now. Like, it's... or I would say it's more popular now. It's always been a deck, I think. Yeah. Am I, like, looking things up properly? Oh, am I looking up deck search? Oh, I don't want deck search. Advanced search options. Well, let's look up Thrasta. Still no results. Fuck me. Okay, now let's look up Yawgmoth Thran. What is going on here? This advanced search thing doesn't work. Anyway. So Lorenzo Silva says, when was the SCG Modern Tournament where Golgari Yawgmoth won? Maybe that was it? That could have been it. That's true. There was one event where Yawgmoth won the whole thing. Is the date range bad? It's like okay. It's like the last month or so. But even it's not even. Oh, hold on. What is the 6th? Do I have to throw in the exact name? Position. It just doesn't work. Oh, I have to put in tournament now. This is really frustrating. I'm still deck searching. Yeah, I'm searching for decks with the card Yawgmoth. Oops. That disappeared. No results still. Like containing these cards. Anyway, this is terrible. This is just awful. This is a very, very bad deck search thing. We haven't even been able to find one thing. I probably look up Lord of Atlantis. It'll show me nothing. You have to submit the full name properly. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. You have to add the card to the list. Well, this is just... it isn't terrible. I did it wrong. Look, it shouldn't be that complicated. I'm going to go to a more jankier site, MTG Top 8, and it's not going to be complicated. Look, I go to their search. This is not hard. Main deck. Let's look up Thrasta. From... I don't care. Just look anything. We have nothing. Okay, how about instead? So we don't see Thrasta, but let's look up Yawgmoth Thran Physician. Boom! Boom! Easy! Why is this rocket science on MTG Goldfish? Just search the damn card. See? What hoops did I have to go through? And I can like customize it so easily here. I love MTG Top 8 as like a database. They have a pretty good site for this. But my gripe is they've got like so much random nonsense in here. They have so many. I mean their data is really spoiled now. So anyway, MTG Goldfish, 2 thumbs down for their search functionality. Absolutely worse. You can do that on Goldfish too. Well, then why didn't it do it? Okay, you show me. You show me, people. I'll zoom out a little bit. How do we make this work? I want to look for Yawgmoth Thran Physician. What do you want me to do? How do we make this work? Your search functionality is broken. Search in the box on top. You mean this one? I think it's searching. Is it searching? Are we searching? What's going on here? I feel frozen here. Top right? Oh, here. Well, what's the point of this other thing? Okay, I find this. Then where's the decks? Where's the decks? These are decks using Yawgmoth. Excellent. Commander... No, but what's the point of the advanced search function then if it doesn't work? What is the point of the advanced search function if it doesn't work? No, we're not moving on. I'm sticking to this, and I'm gonna get. And then now, let's say I want to just look up the. Do we filter this now for just modern? Come on, so couldn't we find Thrasta now? Thrasta was not working at all. Just commander decks are playing Thrasta. Nope, nothing for modern. There is no purpose. It's a bad site. Well, anyway, my point is, like, if this is good, okay, that's great. But this is more of a hack than anything else. They have an advanced search function that literally doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like, there's no point in having this advanced search function to look up specific cards when you can't find them. In my experience, over 50% of all websites, advanced search is way too convoluted and doesn't work. Anyway, okay, we got to move on. We do have to move on. And you know what we're moving on to, people? We're moving on to Decklist review. So you know the drill, unless you're new here, apparently. If you're new here, then maybe you don't know the drill. Go into my, if you want to submit a deck list for deck list review, get your deck shown to all the masses, to hundreds of thousands of people on this live stream. Go into my description. In my description, there is a link to my Discord. Join the Discord. Then when you join the Discord, go to the channel, Decklist Review. Yes, Decklist Review. I've done this a million times. I can't remember the name of my own channel. And then use the command, enter the command !review deck, space, give the URL to your deck list, and then press enter. Come on, these aren't, on a daily basis, people have problems with this. !review deck. Press the space bar, give the URL to your deck list, press enter, and boom, you'll be eligible at random. Be chosen for deck list review. Problem is your computer. Put water in the CPU to make the goldfish swim and the data you need. That's right. What do you think about Remand versus Counterspell and Blue-Red Breach? They probably want Remand because you want to dig deeper into your cards. You want the count. You don't care about like how much stuff your opponent plays in general. I mean, I don't want to say this for sure. Like maybe they do want Counterspell because I don't play the deck. But generally speaking, in combo decks, like because it's a pseudo combo deck, you know. It's a pseudo combo deck, so you just want to delay the game, but you want more resources. You need more land drops. You need to find your combo pieces. So Remand generally fits those types of decks. The queue is cleared weekly now instead of daily, correct? So you could submit it once a week. You could submit it after the show on Friday. I'm only going to clear it once at the end of the show on Friday. And then after that, it's good for the entire week. Will Mana League still be played? No. I mean, maybe in some fringe cases, but in general, no. All right, let's look at some sponsors. FusionGamingOnline.com. That's what helps keep everything running. Deal of the week, 15% off Zendikar Rising singles and sealed product. You can also, of course, get your Modern Horizons to pre-ordered cards or booster boxes. But yeah, 15% off Zendikar Rising stuff. And don't forget, coupon code Nikachu. Supports the channel, but also gets you a deal. You get 5% off all your purchases. So that's good stuff. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And boy, people are competing for the good new cards here. I mean, and they're all pretty expensive. The prices are coming down. They are collapsing. They are going down. Ragavan used to be like $120. Now I think it was like $70 a day ago. What is it now? What's Ragavan? Ticks now 63, so 70. They're coming down. They're coming down in price. So you get more. You can rent more things with your subscription with Mana Traders. You can support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or you can save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. Why was Ragavan so expensive? Because everyone wanted to play test it in Legacy and Modern. It was supposed to be like the new Delver. It's supposed to be the new Delver. Jamoka's Command gonna make a comeback? Probably not. I don't know what for. That guy post. I am new here. Apologize, but please help me through the deck list review thing again. So in my description, there is a link to my Discord. Join the Discord. Go to the channel deck list review, and then enter the command. Where's my command? Here's my command. The command! ! Review deck space. Give the URL to your deck list. Press enter, and boom. You're available, and you'll be queued, not queued. You can be selected at random for the whole week, up until Friday. Then you have to resubmit it. There's some people with supreme lag here. I'm just getting this thing. Go to advanced search, type in the card box, Yawgmoth Thran. Wait and click on the drop down. Please, I'm having an aneurysm right now. That's interesting. There's a drop down thing that will show up. That's dumb. Like, how am I supposed to know that's going to show up? Nothing was showing up. All right, let's go look at some deck lists. We have 82 lists submitted. That's crazy. A baby Yeti. Congratulations, a baby Yeti. Time to grow up into adult Yeti. All right, so we've got a list called the Glass Cannon. The glass cannon, people. Interesting. Luris. Oh, it's just, so we have a Boros Prowess deck. Okay, Clever Lumimancer, Swift Spear, Niv Magus Elemental, and Kiln Fiend. Slaughter Pact? Oh, Jesus. I mean, this deck is, okay, Glass Cannon it is. Assault Strobe, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Ground Rift, target creature without flying can't block this turn. And Storm, Gut Shot, Mutagenic Growth, Tainted Strike. Target creature gets +0/+0 and gains Infect until end of turn. Apostle's Blessing. And so what, you're a 3-color deck? Blood Crypt, Gemstone Mine. Ooh, this is not good. Don't play Gemstone Mine, because on the play... Oh, no, sorry, this is I was thinking Gemstone Cavern. Okay, fine, this is fine. This deck is like, we're winning by turn 2 to 3, or bust. We go bust. What format? It's apparently a Mardu Prowess deck, because it's playing Tainted Strike and Slaughter Pact. We got Engineered Explosives in the sideboard. Pact Negation, Blazing Volley, Surgical Extraction, Ancient Grudge, Feed the Swarm, Teamer, Battle Rage. I'm surprised this is just not in the main deck. I see your idea. I guess it's okay. Oh, what's the format? It has to be modern. It has to be modern. It's not gonna be anything else. I actually have no feedback for this deck. I don't know if you need the swamp, though. I don't think the swamp is all that necessary. I think you should have more plains. Or I guess I guess it doesn't matter much. I guess maybe you do want the swamp. You need for Feed the Swarm. I think there's absolutely no intention of casting that pact. Of course, the turn you try to win. But, like, why... If you're gonna try to attack through a creature, you might as well be using, like, Teamer Battle Rage. I think that's the point. Whatever, this deck is all in. It's all in. I actually don't really believe in the Tainted Strike. I think this is a bit too fancy, because you might deal a lot of damage with a bunch of stuff, get your opponent down to like 5, and then all of a sudden you get Tainted Strike. So this is the only card I don't really believe in. You should just take it out and just play normal, I don't know, Lightning Bolt, for example. But if you want to live on the edge with Slaughter Pact, hey, that's all you. I mean, I am not going to be held liable for the games that you lose off of your own Slaughter Pact. Oh, interesting. You can cast the Pact and remove it from the stack with Niv Magus and Elemental. Exile an instant or sorcery spell you control. Put 2+1/+1 counters on Niv Magus. Interesting. Nice interaction. Nice catch. Yeah, the deck has Mutagenic Growth. Switch Strike to Lava Dart. That's a very reasonable suggestion. I just, like... It's just going to be so bad if you top deck this card. So bad. I don't know how the deck plays out, but I'm just assuming this is just going to be a disaster. Oh, that's a good point, Barbell Boa. This deck should probably have Manamorphose, so probably Manamorphose should take the place of Tainted Strike. Is it on a budget? Probably not. They're playing with Bloodstained Mire. So that's the only thing I would change. Put this Tainted Strike in the sideboard, I don't know, for the right matchup. Like, if you're up against Infinite Life. I mean, I could see you bringing this in versus Helid Company. That seems reasonable. And then you just go, bam! Tainted Strike, you're dead. But in the main deck, I don't think it's worth it. You could always have this as a sideboard card. Look at this, Pact of Negation. This really is Glass Cannon. It's like, we're gonna win, or we're gonna lose. Defiant Strike. Well, I think we should get Manamorphose in this deck. And probably we have too many things to protect creatures. But maybe not. I don't know. I think this is overkill with some of these cards. Like, if I want double strike, I might as well have Boros Charm, in my opinion. But this is pretty low on lands. We're at 17 lands. Anyway, Manamorphose instead of Tainted Strike. And good luck going all in there. Good luck. NYC is the next person up. Congratulations, you're the next contestant on Decklist Review. No, we all miss Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, that deck would probably play it, wouldn't it? All right, Azorius Prison. Neat, but it's got a lot of creatures. Okay, Judge's Familiar, Mausoleum Wanderer, Mist Caller, Containment Priest, Haven Mind Sensor, Raiden God of Worthy. Snowlands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Non-creature spells your opponent's cast with converted mana cost 4 or greater, cost 2 more to cast. And it's got the Valkmira Protector Shield. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you, or a permanent you control prevent one of that damage. So it hoses like Walking Ballista. Whenever you or another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless the controller pays 1. Archangel of Tithes. As long as the Tithes' attacking creatures can't block unless their controller pays 1 for each of those attacking creatures. And as long as this thing's untapped creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless they pay 1. We have Baird Stewart of Argiv. Creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. This is a very unique deck. Now, my only problem is it's so heavy on 4-drops. You're so choked on 4... Like, well, maybe you're not. Because you don't have to play the 4-drop here. So you can play... This is still a lot of 4-drops. How many lands do we have? We have 22 lands? Do we have anything else? Hold on, what is this? Oh, it's Pioneer! Interesting. Okay, it's Pioneer, not Modern. Sweet. This is a very interesting deck. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a Pioneer deck. Judge's Familiar, Mistcaller, Containment Priest. Unfortunately, I don't know the... So first off, I think you should probably have one more land in this deck. Oh, hold on. No, sorry. You have Seagate Restoration, so you're good. So I think this is okay. This is okay. This is a very unique deck list. This is very unique. No sideboard, no description. I can't... So as I see it here, everything looks pretty good. I don't know how good Mistcaller is in the format, though. Skyclave Apparition? Yeah, Skyclave might be able to replace one of these 1-drops. Probably the Mistcaller. I don't know what Mistcaller exiles in Pioneer. Oh, Mistcaller might beat Phoenix. It is Mistcaller is a good card versus Phoenix.
So you can live more. Switch today and earn a $300 welcome bonus.
So does Containment Priest. I don't know how well positioned Skyclave Apparition is. Maybe Elite Spellbinder. We don't really have a lot of room. I think if we take out one of these 4-drops, that's as good as we can do. Is Aven Mind Sensor even good in Pioneer? If an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards instead. Maybe we have Elite Spellbinder instead of this. There's not as many Fetchlands in the format. Yeah, Phoenix is big in Pioneer, I agree. This has Flash, but I don't know how often... Yeah, Nikachu streams now offering audio ads. I don't know. Randomly, some of these songs in this playlist have ads. Does it? Niv Mizzet. Enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library for each color pair. It only reveals, you don't search your library. Oh, but it does hit Bring to Light. Okay, it does hit Bring to Light. You have to search your library that way. But it's like, it's so-so. You could still play Elite Spellbinder and just hit the Bring to Light, you know? I made the list before Spellbinder, so that's probably better. Yeah, maybe just play Spellbinder instead of Aven Mind Sensor. I also got a sense like you have too many 1-drops. But maybe not. Like, these don't really have much... Well, maybe it's okay. 11 is okay. But that's all I would suggest. Your mana base is rock solid. I don't know. You're really going over... I will say you might be going way overboard when it comes to... Do we really need Confounding Conundrum? What does Confounding Conundrum beat in that format? Is anyone playing more than 1 land a turn in Pioneer? Look how much like graveyard hate you have. Rest in peace, Mist Caller to some extent, Containment Priest to another extent. Archon of Emiria is a good card too. Oh, there's the Lotus Field deck, but whenever land enters the battlefield under the opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under their control that turn, they return a land. But that doesn't change anything. I don't think it changes Fabled Passage much, because they play Fabled Passage, pass the turn, put a land in play. I don't understand how Conundrum interacts with the Lotus Field deck. Yeah, I agree. So, like, these enchantments feel weird. You could just add more creatures. Like Archon of what was it? We had suggested Archon of Emiria. This is a totally legit card. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn, which you're not doing anyway. Non-basic lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tap. That's got to be a beating for those Niv Mizzet decks. Anyway, Conundrum doesn't look like it does anything in this deck. You could use some more creatures. I think, well, Thalia is fine too, but I think Archon of Emiria basically fills that slot. It does the same thing, or is no? It actually does something. It doesn't tap down the opponent's creatures. But this has evasion. It's flying. Ashiok over Rest in Peace. That's actually reasonable. Maybe Conclave Tribunal. I don't think it's necessary. I think if you're playing... This is like Death and Taxes, right? So you try to want to tax your opponent with creatures. Conundrum probably made more sense when Uro was around. Yeah, maybe. But it's not. So we should probably replace these cards with more creatures. So, like, Rest in Peace in the main actually just seems so aggressive, especially since you already have, like, pretty good, like... hate. Like, this should just go on the sideboard. So this could be 3 Elite Spellbinder, and the 4 Confounding Conundrum could be some Archon of Emiria / something else. This needs 1 Supreme Verdict? I don't know about that. You could also play some Spell Quellers in this deck. I think Spell Queller might be reasonable. Oh, it's not as taxing. This is a super anti-Phoenix deck, correct. Well, I don't think this deck needs a board wipe, because the point of the deck is, like, creatures can't attack you or planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1. So it, like, tries to tax the opponent from even attacking you. So there's no point in taxing them to death, and then you wipe out their creatures. Chancellor of Annex? This is Pioneer, by the way. Yeah, this is not a Pioneer legal card. Ooh, Brazen Borrower does help the curve at 2. That's a good point. I actually like some Brazen Borrowers in here. So maybe we have, like, 2 Archon of Emiria, 2 Brazen Borrowers. That's very reasonable. I think that's good. Jordy's like, run Smuggler's Copter. Maybe you'll get a disqualification, but you'll feel fined. Probably so you'll have fun. What does the 4-drop human do again? Baird Steward of Argiv. 2/4 Vigilance. Creatures can attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. It's the Rumming Stone. Spells you control have Ripple 4. Whenever you play a spell, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may play any revealed cards with the same name as the spell without paying their mana cost. I think this is terrible. Anyway, okay, so I think that's going to be it for Decklist review. That was a very interesting prison deck. That's actually pretty neat. It's a pretty neat list. I would just say exchange the enchantments for just some playable creatures. Helps you with your attack. I mean, like just to finish off, you actually don't have that many creatures in your deck. It looks like 26, but 11 of them are just pure garbage. Like these are just chipping away at your opponent for almost no damage at all. And it's not a good clock. So you should have like a little bit more beef backing it up. And it's not like there's any, well, do you have any more spirits? No, you have no spirits to help buff up the Mausoleum Wanderer. So, yeah, add in some Arcana Myria, some Brazen Borrowers, some Arcana of Myria, Brazen Borrower. We're missing one. Well, whatever. It was mentioned during the stream. And good luck with it. Am I streaming today? Maybe. I got to get some YouTube work done, but I might be streaming today. You'll just find me in the evening. Gotta jam them Merfolk leagues in. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to see the replay, go check out Nikachu MTG Streams, the alternate YouTube channel. If I didn't get to your comments, questions, or deck list, hey, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you want to support the channel and you haven't already, you can always drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You can also become a patron at patreon.com, or you can hit the join button on YouTube. Or you can, donate the super chats. I love all you with the super chats. Thank you so much. And thank you for showing up today, because if it wasn't for all of you, hey, this wouldn't be much of a stream. It wouldn't be much of a conversation we'd be having this morning. So thank you for showing up, making me a part of your daily routine. And keep brewing up that coffee, and we'll keep brewing up magic. See you guys next time.